Hey, welcome back to another episode of OK Boomer, the podcast, brought to you by our friends over at the Inked Marketing team. Inked Marketing. If you need that little extra shove for your Indiegogo or Kickstarter, contact Kevin Gillette over at Inked Marketing and see what they can do for you. Just go to www.inked.marketing today. Who want us to remind you that the award-winning series is back from Monty Michael Moore. That's right. Loco Hero 2 is now live on Kickstarter. For your copy, just go to inked.pub/Loco Hero 2. And now, this is Will.
And this is Thomas.
Okay, we got a little bit of lag. You're a little robotic right now.
Really?
It should.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
It should clear up, hopefully. So we are back. Opposed to Thursday. We had to reschedule and do this one tonight for a book that I picked, Sandman Mystery Theater #1. Since we've been doing a lot of appearances of the original Sandman, from Kingdom Come to book that Thomas picked last week to this book that I picked this week because it was one of my favorite series. And then on my third interview of yesterday, the writer for Parallel, the graphic novel from Source Point Press, his favorite book as a kid, like as a 12-year-old, was Sandman Mystery Theater. He has no idea why, but he does have a double spread. He does have a double spread page from the artist of this book, signed up, framed up on his wall.
Oh, that's cool.
So.
Well, I mean, there's a lot going in on this book. I mean, there really is.
Oh yeah.
And I hadn't read it in a long time. And I mean, well, first the first thing is the freaking covers. Like the covers on Sandman Mystery Theater are like the covers on Sandman. They're another level unto themselves. I mean, they're freaking awesome. And he has such a badass costume.
And it's like, if you like noir stuff and you haven't read this series, then you need to do a deep dive into this. This is back when DC was still putting out good stuff. Not like in like the last number of years where it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Because I'm of the mind that DC and Marvel don't give two shits about their books anymore, because all they care about is making and getting richer from TV shows and animated features, cartoons, and Sim, what's up, brother? And all that stuff, stuff to do with with Disney, with the parks, with the their people in costume getting paid money to be there, and the TV shows with Disney Plus and DC with Max. I mean, if they're putting out quality TV, I'm fine with that, because then at least I can watch that for free, and I don't have to buy a mess of books that are going to piss me off when I go to try to read them, because they're And there's a lot of other quality stuff out there, and so I pretty much canceled everything, but 4 books, Joker, of course, Batman Detective, and I canceled Hulk as of issue 50. So, because I am not going to read I'm not going to read a bastardized Hulk by Donny Cates. Fuck that dude. I can't stand him. And since we went there,
I'll let you know if it's terrible or not.
Since we went there already, I might as well stop putting this up.
Damn it! I'll let you know how it is, because I have not missed an issue of the Incredible Hulk since like 88 or 89.
Mm-hmm.
So to stop now is just like, it would probably cause me to have a mild like stroke.
Yeah, just a mild one. The major ones I save for my kids and work. But other than that,
Yeah.
We are also I am. Thomas hasn't seen it yet, but we are also recommending, and we're going to give airtime. I'm going to give airtime on every episode of every podcast I'm on to a brand new badass militaristic comic book series that launched Thursday, the 22nd, called Mavericks. And I'm going to put the link for the Indiegogo for that in the chat. And a little later on, we'll take a quick break, and we will throw the video up for that too. So everybody else that'll be watching can check it out. But now let's dive into this. And I dig the artwork because it's a period. The first issue, they're all like period pieces because they're all going back in time, and the series slowly comes to the forward. But I had the cool ass black and white, ginormous store poster for Sandman Mystery Theater. They weren't going to hang it up, and they knew I liked the. My buddy knew I loved the series, and he goes, I was just going to throw this out. You want this? What is it? He goes, oh, it's that cool black and white noir poster for Sandman Mystery Theater. What's it? Just a little one? He goes, no. It's like, no, it's one of the big giant store ones. Our windows our big windows are actually not big enough to hang this thing in. So if you want it, take it home. And I had it. I don't think I have it anymore. If I come across it, I'm going to be like tickled pink. Well, not really, but I'll be happy as shit. Put it up and
decorate the apartment.
Well, I still haven't hung it up. It's still sitting over here. My Judge Dredd on sale here. It's a 6 foot tall poster of Judge Dredd on sale here, which was also too big to hang up anywhere in the store. That and there were like maybe 3 people. Yeah. And to hell with the stupid pony. We're gonna send him to the glue factory. Oh,
he's going to the glue factory.
Damn straight. We need more glue. So, really quick, because I got this in this week.
Yeah.
On a side note, because I know you. Superman's basically your only big DC character that you really love. But I backed this indie book called Catch the Crazies, and issue 3 they used their characters, but it's a homage to Action 1.
Oh, sweet! With a bus or something.
Yeah, it's a school bus. But the dude also, as a thank you to me, did up a Superman sketch card for me.
Oh, sweet!
So I got like a cool Superman sketch card, and I got a trading card of the comic too. So
yeah, I didn't.
That was cool. I also kind of cheesed him out on the unboxing video because I didn't order the sketch card, so I wasn't mad that it was. I wasn't like mad that it wasn't in there. But he had promised. He's like, he goes, you know what? He goes, name any character. I'm going to do you a sketch card because I want to thank you. And I'm like, all right. He goes, what do you want of? And usually I would say Joker. But I'm like, I don't care. I go, you're going to draw me a free sketch card. You draw whatever character you want on a sketch card. But he had the thing taped up on his drawing desk and forgot to take it down and put it in the envelope with the book. So I'm looking, I go, nope, no card. So I'm like, I go, well, Sam, I'm like, Sam promised me to get this. And then both the dudes that made that book were commenting all over the all over the YouTube feed on it, and it's like he's like, "Oh no, it's still taped to my drawing desk. Holy shit, I forgot all about it." He goes, "We're leaving for a convention tomorrow." Plus, he's packing up his whole house and moving to Texas. And he put it in the he boxed it up with stuff that was going to the post office on Friday. It got dropped off at the post office Friday, and it was here Monday. So
that's cool.
I mean, I'm in Mass. He's only in Jersey, so it's they put it on a truck. I got here in like 20 minutes, and they just tossed it in my mailbox, so it was cool.
Sweet.
And now back to the show.
Now this is first issue Sandman Mystery Theater. The story arc here is called The Tarantula. It's Act 1. I do like that it says Act 1 as opposed to Part 1 or anything else. I don't know why. I just do. It's by Matt Wagner and Guy Davis. And like you said, the art is very period. And, the other thing that really, when I was reading this book, that really come to mind is, and I've read it a couple of times, so maybe that's it, and I've seen the movie, is The Freaking Great Gatsby. Because it's got that kind of feel, our hero, he's kind of like, I don't say kind of like Gatsby. Nobody knows what the hell's he doing there. Oh, I'm just here. I'm taking care of my dad's stuff. And there's some really weird imagery to start with. I had to read this first page 3 or 4 times before I figured out it's a dream sequence.
Yeah, it's like in the narrative, the narration boxes, when you read that thing through, it's cool, but a little creepy as fuck too.
Yeah, because I don't what the hell is going on. You've got this lady, and then he's you've got the war, and then he's caught in a spider's web, and like all these women are dogpiling him, and I can think of worse things.
And the next thing they're roasting a My Little Pony on a spigot and barbecue in the back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of crazy. And he wakes up at the end, and the art is just the art is perfect for this kind of a story, because and like we were talking about, it's a period piece, and even you could tell that Wagner then went back and looked at it, because this is set in kind of like the 20s, and
I thought this one was like 32 20s, or 34.
Was it 30s, 20s, 30s? Yeah, it's a little after Prohibition.
Yeah.
So it's not long after Prohibition is gone. So maybe it is like 32, because Prohibition ended in 1919?
I don't know. I wasn't around.
I can't remember. But yeah, so she's going out to.
All I know now is we can, go online and get alcohol delivered to our house now. So.
Yeah, that whole thing that temperance movement didn't last. But yeah, so she's going to go out. She's going to go out on a date, and her dad comes to her, and he's like, "Hon, are you going out again?" And she says, "Yeah, I'm going out again." And he goes on to her, and she chastises him for her morals, And she's like, 24. I'm 24 or whatever. I can perfectly go out. I'm going out with the girls. I'm not going to be by myself. Don't wait up for me. And
you floozy.
Gets mad at him, and he's like, he's running for office. I read this yesterday.
Yeah, he's the DA.
Yeah, he's the DA. Yeah, the district attorney's daughter shouldn't be seen in public. So he's running for office, and she's daddy, whatever, and he's wanting her to go to school. Everything else. 1938. It says right there, 1938.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I was thinking it was earlier. This is 1930 after all. And so she leaves. So this is actually set right before World War II. So yeah, she kisses him, leaves out, and takes a taxi. And he sees her off, of course. And, he's just grumbling all about, the fact that his daughter, who's 24, who can't get to go to college, He can't get her to go to like a tech school, and he can't get her married off because she's too interested in partying and staying at the house. So he's mad at her, and he stumbles back to the house. And when he gets there, there's somebody wearing a gas mask going through his damn safe in the wall.
I wonder who.
Yeah, I wonder who. I love the gun, dude. The gun is so freaking cool. And it's so cool with the string handed to the canister
Mm-hmm.
with the sleeping gas in it. It really is. And he just sprays his ass. So Sandman turns around, sprays his ass.
Yeah, and the cool thing too is this is where they got the whole idea for Green Hornet's gas gun too.
Oh, really? So Green
Because
Hornet is a little after the original Sandman?
yeah,
Is he? I didn't know that.
I thought it was. If not, it's vice versa. But uh, his Stinger gun was loaded with cartridges, and obviously Sandman's gun is hosed to a canister under his coat. So
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can
It's
get
it's
so he
like
can get
tied to his
so he
belt.
yeah so he can gas more than one person. And you
Yeah.
know, back then, somebody whipped out a gun. You didn't think, well, maybe it's just a sleepy sleep gun. Somebody whips out a gun, especially in a darkened, a shade and darkened room like this. You think you're about to, see the angels, and next thing you know, you act like Bill the cat from Doonesbury, and you're out cold, and you wake up like, 4 or 5 hours later, and it's like, that's great, man. I wish, every married guy needs a gun
What's
like this.
Well, see, and that's the whole thing. That's damn it. That's the thing that's so cool about this too, and it is really, when you think about it, is really scary about this character is because he doesn't just kill, his I don't say his victims or the people he's going after. He actually completely incapacitates them for an extended period of time, and when they wake up, they have no freaking clue what he did, and he already knows he's going through the safe. So something's in the safe that he doesn't want, be it papers related to the DA or money or whatever. And of course, when he wakes up, it's all gone because at least Sandman's nice enough to let him fall into the damn chair, so he sleeps there by the window and catches a nice breeze.
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, he gets gassed, he's cough, and then that's cool too. The art is so good; it fits this story so well. A lot of kind of like last week, we were looking at, Keith has that really weird, freaky art style for Sandman. This is that same kind of not freaky, but really classic. You can tell the people are people. It's not very clean. It's not very modern. It almost looks like an etching or something. And yeah, the dude just falls in the chair, goes to sleep, and you can see the little green mist as Sandman goes out the window.
Yeah, it looks like an average non superhero comic from 1938. And of course, they picked 1938 because that's when DC Comics started.
Yeah. Yep. Dude, what is a cool ass spread?
Yeah.
She goes to the jazz club, man.
I had to blow this up on my tablet and like drag it over from like page to page, and I'm like, this is cool. You got like a Dizzy Gillespie kind of guy sitting there, blowing the horn,
Yep.
and you get like an intro to the club, and so they're just going out and having dinner and drinks, and you know
And
they
and
are
this
literally trying to pick up guys every night.
Well, and that's the whole thing. And this is when you look at history and some of the other stuff. This is kind of beginning of women's lib, and still you've got that clash of the women lib movement and the old classic male movement where whatever. And so they're picking up guys and drinks and stuff every night. But what's cool is if you know anything about it and kind of read the story, is they're not really paying for the drinks or the meals. The
Oh
guys are
no.
all paying.
Hmm.
They're picking up different guys every night and spending the night at the town, living it up, you know, offering the promise of maybe if the night goes good, you'll get some action. But then by the time the morning rolls around, they get a taxi and they head back to the house.
Yeah.
Except for her name. We'll get her name here in a minute. But yeah, is it Katie here? Yeah,
Yeah. The blonde.
she's already got an. They show up. Yeah, the blonde. They show up to the club and she's already there. She's got 3 or 4 guys trying to give her cigarettes and buy her whiskey and drinks and everything else. And she just laughs at them. Y'all are all late. So it's a group of 4 women, and they're just out having a good time in the 30s.
So apparently we all have to buy Katie's friends drinks and dinner, and dance with them. But only Katie is going to put out at the end of the night. So
Yeah,
we all
yeah,
have to flip a coin to see who she likes the most.
yeah. And actually, here's the thing, because Katie rides home with the district attorney's daughter there, and
Hmm.
actually gets out early. I think her name was Katie. And they're going on and they're talking about, what a crowd, what a mob. And she's like, oh, so you got, you're surprised you had, you know, you had so many men with you that I'm surprised that Catherine, they call her Katie, but I think call her Kath here. You had so many men friends there all over you. I'm amazed that you're riding home with me. And then she just drops the bomb on her friend. She's actually, I'm spoken for these days. And she's like, what? Yeah, I'm spoken for. And we find out Kathy here, or Katie, is dating probably a mobster, but we don't know
Probably,
which one.
probably. Uh,
Yeah, it's pretty strongly hinted at that he is not not in the legal business.
well, I did see names in this book dropped like uh, Lucky Luciano, Bugsy
Yeah,
Siegel,
uh, they talk about Hoover
Maya
and
Maya Linsky. So all I
yeah.
could think of, all I could think of was that period gangster movie with Christian Slater, with
Where
the
everybody's in it.
where everybody's in it, and it's all it's all that that whole group. And I'm like,
Yeah, the New York mob. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because I can't remember when they got Lucky Luciano out, but it's shortly after this because he actually helped them straighten out the dock workers. He helped the
Hmm.
U.S. government straighten out the dock workers to get everything flowing because the
Yeah.
Italian dock workers were going to go on strike. But Luciano stepped in. But then he went back to crime after they kind of pardoned him, and then they sent his ass to Italy. So yeah, so she's dating a mobster. We don't know which one yet. Um, and so they leave her off, and then she heads on to the house. And as we see Katie walking up there, she gets her key out and she's going to head in. And before she makes it into the front door, somebody snatches her. We don't know who it is because we can't even see, but they snatch her, and she's gone. And of
Hmm.
course, the her father, not Katie's father, but our main protagonist here, her father wakes her up and he says, "Hey, you're gonna go with me to this party tonight. Gotta tell you some news later on, and I'll see you. Hey, she's got the little eye mask on. Yeah, I'm coming. Because it's noon. So she got home at like 6 o'clock, and here it is at noon, and she's still asleep. She's like, I'll be there.
Sounds like me.
Sounds like you.
Well, I don't have an eye mask, but
Well, I'll have to get you one. So she, the story moves forward to that evening, and the DA is now at his kind of his meet and greet for his political career. And here's all the high society of New York, and he's nervous about his daughter. She said she was going to come. It actually says her name here again. I forgot. Nope, I can't see it now. I'll remember her name in a minute. But yeah, so he's nervous she ain't showed up, but she's kind of standing him up, and then she stands up and introduces herself to everybody. Here's the Judge Schaefer and everybody, and they're all, oh, I'm so glad you're so radiant and so beautiful. She shows up in this nice, cool white dress, and then we get introduced to this guy, this kind of mysterious guy, this Mr. Wesley Dobbs. He was Edward's son. And he just comes in and he's like, hello. And he's just straight laced as can be. And he's happy to meet the attorney, and Diane's her name right there. Yeah. And his daughter, Diane. So they get to talking for a little bit. Oh yeah. Here's Jolton Joe shows up. So Joe DiMaggio shows up at this big meet and greet, and
I'm seeing a Yankees player, and I'm like, that doesn't look anything like Joe Sinat, and why would he be in a DC comic?
No, Jolton Joe DiMaggio.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Dang it! Oh Lord, we got to get you to watch more baseball. But so Wesley is talking about all the stuff. Apparently his father has passed away, and Wesley's come back into town to take care of all the business that his father left, the estate and everything else. And he's having some issues, and he's collecting memorabilia from his father, old letters and photos. And he wants to swing back by the office and pick some up later on. Is these the ones you stole out of the safe already? Dun, dun, dun. But we don't know. And DiMaggio shows up. But Diane, for whatever reason, Diane is just fascinated with Wesley. He stands out. He's so different than everyone else. Matter of fact, she even tries to make the first move to talk to him. And she talks to him and everything. And he kind of brushes her off. And he tells her, I'm gone. But he's still thinking about her. He says she's beautiful as he moves away. And then we get someone else enters our picture who we find out is there to speak to the district attorney, and he works for the police. And he finds out that Diane's friend, Kathy, who's dating the mobster, has been kidnapped. And they just got like the ransom note an hour ago. So, yeah, you're like, what the hell?
She was kidnapped like a day before, and it took him that long. Oh, the mail was slow back then.
Yeah, well, mail was slow, or, I don't know if anybody lived at home. Maybe she lived by herself. Nobody reported her missing. We don't know. Mm-hmm. Last thing Kathy knows, or Diane knows, is that Kathy got out to go into the house and everything was fine. Now we find out she's been kidnapped. So they all go to leave as the party's breaking up, and they're discussing, what are we going to do? How long? We've got to try and track her down. We don't really have any leads because nobody saw anything.
Yeah, she was. And she jumped out of the cab, and Diane continued on her way, and like 30 seconds later, she gets
Yeah.
nabbed.
Yeah, I mean, it's that quick. Nobody saw anything. And not only that, it's like the butt crack of dawn. It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I wouldn't have seen a damn thing.
So you wouldn't see the damn thing. So Wesley and them talk a little bit more, and the DA tells him, he says, "Yeah, come on by. You know, I've got plenty of things that you know about from your late father. You know, I have. That's not the problem." And kind of like a weird thing going on in the bottom when you see, as you see Wesley, it's like he's put a mask on or something. It's kind of moving away. It just something's going on. It's a little weird. Of course, now the story moves back because it's really following Diane. So far, the story's following Diane and her night capade. So now it's nighttime. The party's over. They're back at the house, and she's going to go back out. She's going to leave. I mean, hold it. We were just at a party. You were at a party all night last night, and now you're going to leave again? And
it's that age when none of us want to stay home.
Yeah, exactly. She's, I mean, early 20s. I think he says she's 24 in here. And she gets mad at him, and then finally he tells her the police are watching the house. Kathy got kidnapped, and you know, we're trying to track her down, but we don't know what's going on. We just don't know. And she gets a little mad. You know, what do you mean you just don't know? We don't know. So it leaves her there. You know, she's kind of fuming at him. He says, you know, well, who does know? And then as the page turns, here we get another beautiful page. We had one in the last episode we did. No dialogue needed. You see the flame.
Oh yeah.
And we know what's going on.
And I love this green smoky hue for the gas. Yeah, he's filling up to go out and nail somebody again.
Yeah, he's rebuilding his chemical arsenal of whatever gas it is, because he's got to make it. And you know, he's mixing all the chemicals. Yeah, the green is beautiful. The green is such a nice color because the book is very dark. Yeah. And it just stands out in the book.
Yeah, because most of it is like, very dark, broody colors. Like the lightest thing on the page is usually his trench coat. And then you get the gun is like gunmetal grayish, bluish purple hue. So it like offsets, and so it's a very limited palette, but it works very well.
Well, and that's part of the whole thing we were talking about originally. If you like a noir comic, you like a crime comic, that's what this is. At its heart, this is a crime comic with superhero elements. And, that's why it works so well. And I love his costume. The fact it's just, one, it's classic, because all the old superheroes, minus like Superman and Batman, a lot of the old superheroes, besides the big ones that we know of, wore like these trench coats and stuff. That was their costume. And you look at the Shadow, the Spider. I don't want to say tarantula. The Spider, the Shadow, freaking original Sandman. There's a bunch of them that all have this same kind of costume. So yeah, he's gassing up and he's getting ready to go out.
That's just a great page.
Yeah, it really is. So even though they get into this massive argument, she still goes out. And the police show up, and she's mad. She wants to leave. The police are all here. Everything's going to be okay. And as the police are trying to, get her to calm down. She's off, whatever. Or no, this isn't. Excuse me, this isn't Diane. This is someone else. And so the police are here. They're protecting this guy. I can't remember. Do you remember his name? They send him
No.
to. They don't remember his name. So they send him to the study, and he's in there relaxing and such. And so the police escort are here. They're looking for him. So they're tying this kidnapping to a certain class of people in the town, and they're looking around and such. And then you see there's a Sandman as he kind of peers into the study window to see what's going on. And I can't remember who this is, but yeah. So yeah, all the police show up, they meet him, and then this lady is plastered. And she comes down and she's just pissed off. He says, I don't know you, I didn't know we had guests, you know. And the guy's like, oh, it's just some associates from Jersey, dear. And they're criminals.
Mm-hmm.
They're criminals.
I thought she was Dead Man's mother.
Dude, yeah, she's drawn terribly.
Yeah.
Or she's not drawn terribly. She looks terrible.
She is very jaundiced.
Yeah, she's very, very John. And then as you read her dialogue, you can tell she keeps hiccuping. She's plastered. She's falling down the damn stairs. I mean, a woman should meet her visitors from, and everything else. And the husband is just
puking over the rail.
Yeah.
All kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, he's pissed off because, one, I'm having a business meeting here with the freaking mob, and you're bringing your drunk ass down here to act stupid and could get us all killed.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really not upset. And some of the guards that are outside, they're protecting this business meeting, they're looking around, and they look in the front of the car, and old dude that's driving is asleep. And like, what the hell? Well, dude, he's not driving anymore, so he's taking a nap. He's tired. Yeah, so now we go back. This is where we go back to Diane and her dad, who's just damned and determined to not let her out. When the doorbell rings, and
it's Wesley Dodds.
It's Wesley Dodd. And he's like, oh, hey, I stopped by to pick up those pictures and, that other stuff. So when he shows up, because Diane was interested in him earlier, she's like, oh, okay, well, come on in. Everything's fine. Maybe I'm not going to go out. And they all have a talk. And, he shows, the guy shows him, DA shows him some pictures, and they talk a little bit about, what he does and he has a hobby. And, she finds out that, Wesley doesn't really drink and he doesn't smoke, and, he's pretty intelligent. He's got his hobby is origami. So he's been in the Orient. We learn a little bit about him living away in a private school. And she's just completely fascinated with him. And the story keeps going on. They keep talking, and Wesley leaves a little origami thing there, and then Catherine's like, didn't they find something at Catherine's left? And the DA says, yeah, it was a tarantula. It was like a paper tarantula. So now this origami that Wesley's doing kind of ties into what happened to Kathy there. But we don't know.
We're not sure.
No, not at this point. And now our story flashes back to our mobsters who are working on, or not our mobsters, but some mobsters, and I think Wesley's there too. He's talking to a few people, and they're trying to make a decision on what's going on. And the story, like we talk about this all the time, comics just can change from one page to another. Now we're back at like a hotel or a restaurant or something, as some dude's going out and take out the garbage, and when he dumps the garbage out, like blood splatters on him. So he looks up, and then there's Kathy
Dead.
dead. And not only is she dead, she's been
naked.
Naked. She's been mutilated. It looks like she's been, if you look in this bottom page, it even looks like she's been partly disemboweled and strung up underneath the damn fire escape.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this guy who's now standing there underneath the dripping blood freaks the hell out. And
well, that would be logical.
Yeah, it would be logical. And so he calls the police, and the police show up at the DA's house, and of course there's Diane, who kind of hears the whole damn thing, even though she shouldn't hear it. And or they're not. Excuse me. They go to the police station. She goes with her father, and she hears the whole damn thing, and she gets mad. So she kind of storms off because she gets upset. So she goes to the ladies' room, and when she goes into the ladies' room, she's like, well, damn, I guess they don't have a lot of women visit the police station because the ladies' room is dark. She can't find the light switch, but she has a torch, which she turns on, and then she starts moving around, and then that's when her torch lands on this figure in the back, this freaky, figure, which we know is Sandman. Mm-hmm. And he turns around and moves towards her, and obviously she's freaking out. And that's a killer damn last page for a first issue.
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean,
that's just awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
now if you pick this up when it originally came out, and you read this issue, and you obviously knew that because it was a throwback, or somebody in the store would have flipped through and you would have seen the original Sandman, so you knew what the book was about. It wasn't the Neil Gaiman crap. It was this. It was like it was old school stuff. And then this is the last panel. You see bits and pieces of them, but this is the first. I hate to say it like this because it usually inspires nudity, but the first full frontal of full figure of Wesley Dodds in costume. So
yeah, this is the first reveal. And see, and that's the whole thing with you bringing it up. It makes me wonder now, when was this running at the same time as Gaiman's Sandman was?
Yeah.
April 93. So it was toward the end of Gaiman's Sandman run.
Yeah, it was.
It was toward the end. But yeah, Sandman was still running. And see, that's the thing, too, that's amazing is even in the Gaiman Sandman run, they carry over some of the classic Sandman stuff from the first Sandman, the Wesley Dodds character, into the Gaiman run, the mask and all that. But this is such a crime-based story. I mean, this is, like I said, this is Shadow. This is all that classic stuff. But yeah, and that is, there's the first full reveal where we see the full character on that last page. And it makes you want to read the next page, because what the hell's going to happen? Is he going to gas her ass? If she screams, police are going to be in this bathroom in 2 seconds because they're outside the door. They ain't got to go nowhere.
I don't remember it because it's been obviously decades since this came out. So I have a funny feeling with him kind of like leaping towards her that his hand's going to go over her mouth and then he's going to possibly gas her. I don't know, but that's well, that's what I would do if I was wearing a gas mask and was stalking around in the ladies' room in a police station.
Yeah. And I mean, what is he doing in the ladies' room? That's what we don't even understand. I mean, why is he in the ladies' room? Is he going to try and go through the wall and maybe access another section of the police station? We don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to be left to fill in the blanks at the end of this issue.
Yeah.
And this wasn't even a regular issue. It's like an issue and a half. It's like 30 pages.
Yeah. Like I said, back when DC was doing good stuff, when they used to do, they're like, well, we're taking the ads out. We're not going to run ads for people anymore. It's just in-house ads. And, plus, anything Vertigo was more mature based, and, and they were putting out like 28 to 32 page books on a regular basis. Now, if you want Marvel or DC to put out a 32 page book,
it's $7.99.
7, try 9.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah.
But now I mentioned it earlier on. I am behind 100% of the new Indiegogo campaign for a book called Mavericks, spelled Mavrics. I know it's spelled wrong. They did it like that way on purpose. We want to invite you to follow the people that are doing this. You can find them on Twitter at the Global Freak, FREK. And you can, once you follow them there, you can find their YouTube channel where they go live multiple times a week. Right now, they are pushing hard and going all out to promote the book. I'm going to be booking them for August on Creators Outlet. But here, let's get to it and let you take a look at their trailer.
War is a topic of vital importance, a subject of inquiry that cannot be ignored. It is a matter of life and death. It can be a road to safety or to ruin.
In an alternate version of our world, brought to the brink of total collapse, rival nations fight for global domination, and elite pilots in futuristic combat suits wage war on the battlefield of tomorrow. Now, 6 brave soldiers on a seemingly routine rescue mission will encounter more than they bargained for and uncover a dangerous secret that could change their world if they live long enough to see it. Mavericks Origins, Volume 1.
Now on Indiegogo.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of a futuristic, end of the world kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like an alternate version of our world, and it was inspired by a whole bunch of stuff. Of course, all the different Mech Warrior stuff. Of course, Gundam, and the one that struck me that I grabbed right away. I go, I remember that cartoon. What was it? Exo Squad.
Exo Squad.
You remember Exo Squad, the cartoon?
I think I do. I would have to go back and watch it. All right, just because we're talking about
the cartoon back in back around the time of like the Bionic 6 and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, I got something for you, because this is slightly related to tonight's topic, and it's related to your war comic there. I saw this poster for the first time at the military museum about 2 or 3 hours from the house. Basically, I was out driving around and we were shopping, and I'm like, oh, cool, here's the military museum. Let's stop and go in. We'll spend an hour or two there or whatever. This poster, which was a propaganda poster, was up on the very front as you come in. And it's scary as crap.
Oh, that's right. I have to.
Hold on.
Oops.
I hit to share the wrong one. There it is.
Oh, damn.
It's one of those things that kind of puts it leaves a mark. This is a World War II propaganda poster for buying war bonds and stamps.
You're gonna have to send me this, because I gotta send me a copy of this, because does this look familiar? What they want our kids to go back to school with again this fall?
I don't know, but this is terrifying. I mean, and the fact that with our Sandman story, this is kind of his whole setup. This is it. But this is just scary.
Mm-hmm. You don't know how many times I wanted to actually go to military surplus to try to find the right gas mask to dress up as Sandman for, a show or, Halloween. Although nobody would know who the hell I was. It's like, what the hell are you doing wearing a suit? Well, I own one, and if I die, it'll be convenient because I'll already be in it.
You'll already be in it.
Yeah, I would probably just look to buy a T-shirt in my size that was painted up, that was silk screened to make it look like I was wearing a suit. Like the tuxedo. Remember the tuxedo T-shirts?
Yeah.
From the 90s there. Yeah, I would probably get like I'd get like the trench coat, and then I would just, some kind of, sweatshirt or T-shirt that looked like I was wearing a suit. And, I can't do that now because I can't wear anything on my legs.
Here's your gas mask.
Oh yeah, well that's very World War One.
Yeah, that's really close to what he's got on in the comic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, really close. I don't know.
I would want a new one made like that, because I don't want to be smelling no mustard gas or 50-year-old 50-year-old burps from some infantryman that hadn't brushed his teeth in like 6 years.
Just because he's been too busy fighting.
Yeah.
All right. So I did Sandman week before last. You did Sandman this week.
2 different ones.
2 different Sandmans. I've thought about it, and I want to do one of my all-time favorite comics.
My Little Pony.
Not My Little Pony.
No.
Predator.
No, not Predator.
Alien.
Not Aliens.
Alien versus Predator.
No, not Aliens versus.
Dang it.
See, look at the peanut crowd.
Aliens, How to Catch a Predator.
Sorry.
Aliens, How to Catch a Predator. This is a comic that I have not read in years. I've read it multiple times, but I have not read it in years. But it made such an impression on me when I was little. You ready? Amazing Spider-Man Annual 14. Have you never read it?
No, don't care to either.
Go back to the bar with your little ponies.
Go back, go back to the bar with their ponies.
Just show me the cover, and I'll know whether I read it or not. You're frozen.
Oh, no, stop. I'm looking. I'm bringing it up now. Being a little slow, but being a little slow.
Oh yeah.
Have you read this one?
I'm pretty. I can't remember it because it's been so long. But Amazing Spider-Man, Volume 1, Annual 14, written by Denny O'Neil, penciled by Frank Miller, inked by Tom Palmer, colored by Ben Shawn, lettered by Joe Rosen, and edited by Al Milgrom. Castle Doom in Latveria. Dr. Doom has made a pact with the Lord of the Dark Dimension, Dormammu, to unleash a powerful mixture of science and magic called the Bend Sinister. However, knowing that whoever cast a spell to cause this fusion would ultimately perish, Doom sends his pawn, Lucius Dilby, to the Dark Dimension under the teachings of Dormammu to master the mystical might to cast the spell using the combined knowledge of magic and science. Lucius creates a creature. Whoops, what happened? Oh, it jumped me to another page. Damn it, I hate it when it happens. Lucius sends the creature disguised as a mummy to be delivered to Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. Not expecting a package, Strange uses his magical powers to open the container, and he and Wong are attacked by a magical robot.
Yeah.
Did we really need to go to Dormammu's dimension to send a robot to Doctor Strange's apartment? I think not, but
it's
anyhow.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Have you read this one?
No. With Wong knocked out.
You've never read this?
No. I remember the cover. So I might own this, but I don't remember reading this.
This is a absolute badass story. And it's got, you'll have to put the cover up because my internet's acted funny so people could see it. But this comic made such an impression on me when I was little. And the fact that it has everybody and his brother in it. I mean, it's Spider-Man, Doctor Doom, it's freaky.
Yeah, you're breaking up kind of bad.
Some little, I don't know. But I figure we done so much awful stuff. Get back to a book.
There we go. So the magical robot that he makes is Dr. Doom, in the image of Dr. Doom, I'm thinking. And of course, it's a king-size annual, and it's a team up with Spider-Man, which only makes sense because, well, it's his friggin' book. Yeah, it's going back to this probably came out when I was in high school. like either middle school or high school. Because
Really? Yeah.
if it came out while I was in middle school, then I didn't get it because I didn't discover my comic shop till I was in high school. But this was 75-cent cover price. And when books were 75 cents, I used to pretend they were $1 and convince myself that it was buy 4, get 1 free. Because it just made me happier.
There, finally learned. Yeah.
You know, and then when stuff went to $1.25, it pissed me off.
I had a copy of I got a copy of this as the Amazing Spider-Man, but the first time I read it is probably shortly after it come out, because that's when Marvel was reprinting everything. You remember Marvel Tales?
Yeah.
Of course. You remember when they were reprinting Spider-Man left and right? This is the 200th issue of Marvel Tales. It was like the giant double size, and I read it in Marvel Tales, and I was like, this is the baddest comic I've ever read. And then later on, I found out it was Annual 14, and it just, I don't know. But I mean, you know, we've done Doom a little bit lately.
DC was doing it too. They were doing it with Titans, and they were doing it with Legion of Superheroes. They started Tales of the Teen Titans, which is where the first Nightwing comes from there, right?
Yeah. They started that. New Tales of Teen Titans was like issue 24 of the regular series or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just weird because Tales of the Teen Titans used to be an actual new content. And then when Marv and George went first issue of Baxter and we're upgrading the paper and blah, 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 it became reprints of everything.
Yep.
And the same thing with Tales of the Legion. It was just reprints of stuff when Giffen and them moved up to like the better paper and the thicker covers and books and everything. They made that just, you know, reprint stuff. But some of those I bought because I like the damn cover.
Yeah.
And it's not like today if you go, oh, I really like that cover. Well, that's $100 cover because it's limited to 300 print.
All right, here's something we're talking about.
And then I was like,
fussing in general on comics, modern comics, because I did my comic book order the other day, and Marvel puts out more comics than pretty much anybody. Okay, and there was a lot of it is. There was, I think, 13 pages of Marvel comics on the order site. Okay, and that's 13 pages, 30 comics an issue. Now, not all of those are different comics. A lot of them are variant covers and this kind of crap, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but so they're publishing, say, 50 books. You know, 30 times 13 is 300. So every comic's getting, 4 to 5 variant covers or whatever. I went to Dynamite because I buy Petty Page from Dynamite. Okay. And Dynamite had 10 or 11 pages of 30 comics per page.
Oh, yeah. All multiple issues, all multiple covers. Yeah.
Yeah. But they only put out like 6 books. So 6 books.
Dynamite is so, and they've been doing this for like 25 years.
Well, see, that's what it made me mad. I went and looked, and the Betty Page books I'm buying now are the standard, the Betty Page photo covers, but they are 10 or 12 covers for every issue of that book.
I know.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Even worse, when Dynamite will go and launch a Kickstarter for a special cover, and it's literally that. you're paying them $30 for a cover because the book that's in there is a fucking reprint
of something else.
Yeah. So, like, I saw that Jim Ballant and his girl Holly were doing special covers for Vampirella, Red Sonja, and something else, like combined into like one big thing.
Yeah.
I think it was just Vampirella and Red Sonja. And they were doing like special Kickstarter covers. They were just putting it on like the annual for both those books from the year before. They were just slapping a new cover on them.
On an old product.
Yeah. The remember the Vampirella book, the Mike Mayhew cover, right? I got signed and it came signed and graded.
Yeah,
I bought it because it was like $40. And I'm like, it's gonna cost me more than $40 to send a book to get it graded. And it's limited because it's out of Mayhew's studio, and I like Mayhew's art. Not enough to pay that much for it usually, but I'm like, it's a Vampirella thing, and I was on like a Vampirella hot streak, and then I got mad because I saw some dude had like all these Vampirella books up for sale, like at like a good amount of money, and I'm like, I don't have any money. But anyhow, that Vampirella issue, all they did was commission him to do a cover, and they slapped that cover on an old issue. That's not even, she's sitting on a heart. That's not even, and it came out in that February. It's not even a Valentine's Day Vampirella issue. It's the Halloween special from the fucking year before. The year before.
And so the cover has nothing to do with the damn story at all.
Nope. So that's why I sold it. I'm like, get out of here. The only Vampirella that I still have is the Lucio Perella Virgin variant of, I think it's issue 1 of Vampirella meets the Reanimator.
Yeah.
Because I thought
that'd be kind of cool.
That series was great. And it was done in like basically like grayscale. So it was like, done like the Reanimated movie, like the black and white, like film noir style. And the only other color in there was red for the blood.
Well, that's kind of cool.
So
kind of that Sin City look.
Yeah, it was. I think it was green mist at some point too, but I don't remember. That might have just been on one of the covers.
But I mean, that's what I just don't understand. Like I said, I was looking, and DC had, I think it was 8 pages of 30 issues. So, I mean, they had fewer comics solicited than Dynamite.
Well,
they're putting out more books.
Well, DC canceled everything. 2, half of the stuff DC is putting out are miniseries now. One of 6, one of 3, one of 4. And I'm like,
I saw that.
I go, you do know is the week that number 6 or the final issue, whatever book it is, comes out, that same week, the trade and hardcover for that are going to be on the shelf as well. And it's going to be cheaper to buy the hardcover than it is to buy all the singular issues. And at least the hardcover you can put up on a shelf.
Well, that's the thing too. I saw that, and I'm starting to do that more and more with some single issues, because there was they just launched it, or it was pre-solicited, the Black Manta series, and I like Aquaman, so I kind of like some of his stuff, and I was like, hey, this would be kind of cool to check out. But then I got to thinking, I'm like, if I have to buy this for 6 issues, why not wait? Because the trade from where I buy them from, they're like 40% off anyway. It's going to be $7.99.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be less than the cost of 2 comics, and then I'll have it.
I should just have you forward me your order thing, and I'll just PayPal you the money. I'll just PayPal you the money to order me like a couple of trades out of there. because I couldn't figure out anything because I like hardcovers, but I couldn't figure out. I went to their website and I couldn't figure shit out. So
Oh, I'll have to show you. I will go for talking about hardcovers. I looked at today because me and you talked about it 2 or 3 times because he's just absolutely my favorite comic artist working today, and that is the Nexus comic strip is coming out, the newspaper one. Okay, there's an oversized hardcover that's coming out on Kickstarter.
Yep.
And it's printed the exact same size as the newspaper. So it's this big.
It's huge, yeah.
Yeah. It's $137 for the whole book. Okay.
Is that with the discount?
Well, you can't get it from that. You have to get it from Steve. It's on Kickstarter.
Oh, you got to buy it direct, yeah.
You got to buy it direct. So, but it's, yay big, whatever. And for $5, he autographs it. And if you pre-order it, I got to look again, but if you pre-order it and go ahead and pay for it, I think he's actually including a small head sketch on the inside of the book.
I know the smaller version of that. Mike Barron has copies of it, and I think it's like less than, I think it's like $35 shipped.
Well, that's the thing. I was going to say, it's $39. Okay, so I was looking, and it's $39 for the smaller copy, the regular comic book size copy. Okay, but it plainly states in there, because of the size difference between the newspaper and the regular comic book size, they had to rearrange the art panels to make the book fit.
I don't want that.
So now I'm stuck in a dilemma. I want to read it. I love Steve Rude. It's great. But so now what you're doing is you're getting, see, this is kind of the thing.
And then you got to figure out how much is it going to be to ship that huge hardcover oversized book, because it's going to be in a huge package.
Well, not only that, but what I was going to say is, this is kind of the thing that this is one of the reasons why Watterson quit doing Calvin and Hobbes. One, it was a finite story. He only wanted to do it for so long. But 2, he fought tooth and nail for years to make sure that he kept he got a full page spread or whatever. You could not chop up and move his cartoon around. You couldn't take it and change the format.
It had to be in one straight strip across the page.
Yeah, it had to be one straight strip, or if it was color, it had to, you couldn't chop it and run it up and down if it went sideways, any of that kind of crap, and you no longer could carry Calvin and Hobbes. And, people they kept making the comics smaller and smaller and smaller, so he finally got out of it. But that's the same thing we're having, I'm kind of struggling with here with the Steve Rude book. So now I can buy the oversized hardcover, which is really expensive, and get it in its original form, or buy the cheaper version, read the story, but no, it's not in its original form and it's been hacked up.
It's been hacked up, and so it's, yeah.
So you see my dilemma.
The dilemma I see is I will not be reading that Nexus book. Because if you the amount of money I've been spending on Indiegogos and Kickstarters, I'm basically selling a big chunk of key issues to cover one Kickstarter. Like Mavericks has a featured tier, and it's limited to 100. They're doing 100 on the Indiegogo, and they're going to do 100 on the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
The tier is it's a $200 tier on sale right now because it's the featured tier. $150 gets you everything, every single cover. A 30-page, a bonus 30-page backstory book, with short stories to give you more about the characters. The main book is around 60 pages, and it's got what was the Marvel book that did like the Who's Who thing? The Marvel Universe.
Yeah, Marvel Universe, the Encyclopedia of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, so it's got like the Marvel Universe or Who's Who kind of pages with the character, a bio on the character, stats, and all kinds of stuff, in the back. So it's if this thing takes off for them, there's also going to be a minis mech board game to go along with it.
Oh, sweet.
So I am excited for this, but that there's that tier, and then there's the merch tier you can add on, which would actually bring it up to $150.
Huh.
No, bring it up to $200 because the merch tier is like $50. You get a T-shirt, you get like one of the big tumbler cups.
Yeah.
To take to work with your drink, and a few other things. And I think there's actually a mech figure in there too.
Oh, well, that's cool. Mechs are always cool to look at.
So I'm not sure exactly what's in all of it, but they're going on shows and doing what they call mission briefings. So they're offering up a special limited print, and you can only get that print for 24 hours. So if you get the featured tier, that is the big box that has everything, you get everything, even like all the limited mission briefing prints. Plus, some of them are going to be in the featured tier. Some of these are going to be 2-sided metal prints.
Oh, cool! So you can hang them up on the wall.
Yeah, and the metal prints it's either going to be the same picture back and front, or the back might actually be like the reverse angle. I'm not sure. But it's going to basically be the same image. But he didn't like that the way the metal print, when they do a metal print, there's like this weird feeling on the back. So instead he's just having it done on the front and the back. So you're going to get the book, you're going to get every single cover, you're going to get the special file book, you're going to get the actual book itself, you're going to get all the prints, all the special 24-hour mission briefing prints. The only way to make sure you get them all is to buy that tier that's like $150. And I'm like, well, I just, so far the highest amount I've spent on a campaign is $164.
Which one was that?
That was it was a double campaign. They both wrote both Steph Cannon and Matt Knowles wrote the books, but one was his book and one was her book, and they kind of like go like neck and neck, and then at some point they intersect with each other. So I hadn't gotten anything of theirs, and they were releasing this one big intersectional book. It was just like a normal size floppy, but because I hadn't read anything, and I don't want to just go into like this one book and goes, well, you don't really need to read the backstory. I go, no, you don't know me very well. I do need to read the backstory. I got to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's...
So I got the trade of his book, Heirs of Isildur, which is about a little over 400 pages. And then I get Steph's trade, which is her whole series up to that point, which is like 152 or 252 pages. I'm not sure. And then the new book. Plus, I got the alternate cover of the new book because Matt's also a musician. He's a he's a metal musician, and they make an album for every book. So
That's neat.
every book's got a soundtrack.
Yeah,
Well,
kind of a soundtrack.
One of his best friends, who he's been in multiple bands with, laid down guitar tracks. One of the guitar tracks for this album, laid down like 11 tracks, and not 11 tracks, laid down the tracks for this album, and then 11 days later was struck dead in a horrific car accident. Somebody ran like a stop sign or a red light or something down in Florida, and
Lord.
killed him on impact. So they hired another artist to draw his likeness sitting on the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones, except the Iron Throne was made up of every single guitar this dude owned. And all the proceeds from the sale of that cover all got donated to the family of that dude to help them out with stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they put everybody who bought that cover and donated, they made up like, you know, a big card with all the donors' names, because we basically just donated to a fund for a special fund for the family that Matt set up. And,
yeah, you did that, and then you kind of got the book. The book was just extra or whatever.
Mm-hmm. But I'm like, that's cool, because you know, that cover of the book was probably better than the ending of the Game of Thrones on HBO. So
I haven't seen it yet.
you know, but yeah, so you're gonna get me that book, and we will do that next week. If not Thursday, we'll take another Saturday run to.
I am off next Thursday, so.
Are you off?
Yep. So everything should be good.
I know you're gonna text me in the morning, like, son of a bitch, I gotta go into work on my day off.
Look, when you're the boss, sometimes you have to go in more often than you want.
You know what happens when you train a millennial to do a job? You end up having to do it yourself because they're too retarded. Well, you know, I'm just here to collect a check. I didn't actually want to do anything.
Dang it.
And I'm thinking, man, 30 years ago, you could have dragged these kids out the back of the woodshed and tossed them a beating.
Tossed them a beating.
That's the problem with millennials, with a lot of millennials these days. They didn't spend enough time picking up their teeth off the sidewalk.
Dang it. All right, I will get it over to you, and then we'll be back next Thursday, man.
Cool. I'm looking forward to reading this. And once I start reading it, I'll know whether I read it. And if I actually read it back in the day, I'm going to shoot you a text and go, yeah, I read that. This is awesome. And then I'll go back to reading it because I'll be excited to read it again. So, but,
all right,
man. We will see you next week as we go through this on OK Boomer. Don't forget to check out the Mavericks Origin Volume 1 on Indiegogo, and all the information that you can click on is on the chat for that. And next week is an odd week for me. Monday we have Joseph A. Michael in the crew. They do comics that benefit people with diseases. So they make the hero, like the first one they did was I think for cystic fibrosis, and the hero had that disease, and they give these things out for free. They just ask people if they want a free copy, just to make a donation to the fund, that so the money could go back into it. So it's
that's kind of cool. So it's a charity thing.
It's a charity thing. Joseph A. Michael has worked for every publisher on the planet. Super nice dude. Puts out a lot of quality work. And it's a cool idea. And then Tuesday I have the Clapback Kid from FSK Comics, Freestyle Comics, on Tuesday. And then I do not do a show on Friday. because I'm doing the kickoff show for CromCon, and we got a big panel set to go off. We might even have Peter Cimetti stop by. I doubt he'll be stopping by, but we'll see. And there's a bunch of other indie guys for Friday night, and then it's I'm co-hosting, and then it's noon to midnight on both Friday and Saturday.
Holy crap.
Thankfully, both shows end on Friday and Saturday with panels, and I am not part of the panel on either one, so I can just be like, I'm done. Good night. See you later.
I'm gonna go pass out.
I'm gonna go, have a glass of milk and fall the hell to sleep. So that's that. And I've already picked out the book that I want to do the week after.
All right.
It kind of ties into this, but not really. But you'll see next week.
Sweet. All right.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. We will catch you later.
Bye.